Hi everybody. I'm really late tonight. I'm very sorry about that. I am the queen of trying to cram too much in one day. But I am here and I am ready to get this party started. We're going to be talking about core beliefs tonight, what they are and how they affect your life and the decisions that you make or don't make. So I'm going to wait until some of you sign on and we'll get started. I hope you guys took the opportunity to watch the video that I posted earlier today, because I want to reference that in our conversation tonight. Okay, so Facebook is telling me that they're building an audience, so I'm going to fix my hair right now, which really needs fixing, by the way. Okay, looks like we have 2 of you on. I don't know who you are though yet. So wait for a few more and we'll get started. Hello everyone and welcome. We're talking about core beliefs. Oh yay, we have 4 people joining us now. Woohoo! Okay. Yeah, there's a bit of delay always on this live feed. So we'll just wait a minute or 2 more and then we'll get started. So welcome everyone who has joined us. Hi Joanna, how are you? Hello Heather. Just wait a few more minutes here. I see more and more people coming on. We'll get started. I'm really sorry that we're off to a late start tonight. Okay. Hi Tracy, welcome. Okay. Hi Melody. Thanks for joining us. Hi Angelica. Okay, about another minute or so. And again, we're talking about core beliefs tonight. Those of you that I can see so far, just want to take a quick poll. One, I want to see if you know what core beliefs are, and 2, could you let me know if you watched the video that I posted today about Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. A few more joining us here. Okay. All right. Hi, Kate. Welcome. All right. So I'm just going to chat about core beliefs for a little bit, and then I'm going to take some questions. Again, I'm hoping that, hi, Kristen. I'm hoping that you got to watch the video that I posted earlier. Okay, so core beliefs, what are they exactly? Core beliefs are your operating system. Whether they're conscious or subconscious, they are your conditioning. These are the decisions that you make up, and these core beliefs basically finish our stories for us before we've even had a chance to write the story. So core beliefs are what we do or don't do, why we do or don't accomplish things. Hi, Kim. Why we do or don't have people in our lives, why our finances are good or bad. And I have a question for you guys. And I want you to think about this. And I'm going to let you guys try to answer this question. Hi, Kate. We're talking about core beliefs tonight. So I'm wondering who can help me out here. Who knows where the richest place on earth is? Who can tell me that? Where is the richest place on earth? Whatever your definition of rich is. Where's the richest place on earth? Anybody? Where do you think the richest place on earth is? Heaven? Good answer. Anybody else want to guess? Where do you think the richest place on earth is? Home. Okay. Hi, Angelica. Well, what if I told you you got another home in our hearts? Okay, awesome. What if I told you that the richest place on earth is a graveyard? Think about that for a second. The graveyard. Why the graveyard, you might ask? Well, I recently, believe it or not, meditated in a graveyard. Went for a walk, and I don't know, I'm fascinated with graveyards. And not for the obvious reason, because I know that souls and spirits are not there. But I'm always curious when I look especially at an old gravestone and wonder about that particular person. What was their life like? What did they achieve, or what did they never get to do? And I realized that graveyards are truly the richest place on earth. Why? Well, think about it. Because there you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books that were never written. There you'll find skills, ability, and talent that were never shared with the world. There you'll find inventions, ideas, and gifts that we were all denied of, that the world was denied of. Most people die with their dreams and their potential and their skills and their intelligence and their creativity because they were never courageous enough to take a risk. Think about that. How does that resonate with you? Does it sound familiar? We are ruled by fear. And because of that, we do not accomplish our goals, our dreams, and we just don't take risks. So I guess my question for you is, will you be that person? Because you're not in the graveyard, at least not yet. Will you let your limiting beliefs, your negative core beliefs, keep you from achieving your hopes and dreams? Hi, Mona. So, if that doesn't grab your attention, I'm curious to hear what some of you believe your limiting beliefs or your perhaps negative core beliefs are. Because you can have good ones and you can have bad ones. The good ones, they work for you. They work for you because they help you achieve a goal. They help you make good choices in your life. And the limiting beliefs will bring up resistance. So, for example, if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to get fit and healthy, it's important to notice what resistance comes up. So if you go to the gym, for example, and you're fighting your trainer on everything, or if you are insisting that the reason that you can't lose weight is because you're big boned or you have no willpower, is a core belief. It's a core belief that you can't lose weight for whatever reason, or you can't get healthy for whatever reason. You made that decision somewhere and you give up. So I want to reference or talk a little bit about Mike Tyson tonight. You know, a lot of people find it very interesting that I love boxing as much as I do, but there's a reason for it, and I'll explain that in a second. So if you watch the Mike Tyson Buster Douglas video I just posted, it's really interesting. So for as long as I can remember, I have used fitness goals to... we use fitness goals to... I'm sorry, Kim, that you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me okay? I use fitness goals to help me accomplish my personal goals. I think fitness and taking on those types of challenges are great metaphors for life. So getting back to the Mike Tyson Buster Douglas video. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with boxing, but for 4 years in a row, nobody ever got back up after being knocked out by Mike Tyson. And Buster Douglas The odds of that fight were 42-1, I believe, for Mike Tyson. So I don't remember what round it was anymore, but Mike Tyson actually knocked out Buster Douglas. And Buster Douglas got back up. Just at the last minute, he was saved by the bell, and he got back up. And he did something that no one before him had managed to do. Number one, he got back up. And then, after Mike Tyson had him backed into the ropes and was pounding on him, Buster Douglas fought with everything that he had and managed to knock out Mike Tyson. He knocked him out. So he was asked, Buster Douglas was asked how he did it. And he said his mother used to tell everyone that her son was going to knock out Mike Tyson. And then 2 days before the fight, Buster Douglas's mom died. And Buster Douglas said he had a decision to make. He was either going to let his dreams, his goals, his spirit die with his mom, or he was going to keep on living, and he was going to knock out Mike Tyson. His why, his core belief, was stronger than his punch. His why was greater than his pain. And his why was greater than any negative belief that could have easily kept him down after Mike Tyson knocked him out the first time. So if you don't have positive core beliefs, you'll stay down when life knocks you down. Which is why it's important to know what these core beliefs are and find out what kind of programming that you're running every day that's blocking you, that's keeping you from achieving your goals, that's keeping you creating the same type of circumstances for you, choosing the same type of people to be with. So, let me hear from you. I want to know about your core beliefs. Are they lifting you up and strengthening you, or are they hurting you? Are they keeping you back? So this is what I want to talk about, and I want to talk about how we become aware of those core beliefs. So I'd love to coach somebody here. So I would hope that somebody that's online, there's a bunch of you online tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'd love to hear, about maybe a goal that you're trying to accomplish, but you don't know what gets in your way, or maybe something you've tried over and over again that gets in your way. Maybe a relationship that you're in. Your core beliefs can be created pretty much at any point in your life. So let's see. We have a lot of you online tonight. So, all right, let's pick on Jessica. Jessica DeChico. I hope I said that right. Are you aware of any core beliefs, good or bad, in your life that you want some coaching around? This is a topic that I absolutely love discussing, because if you can grasp the concept of core beliefs and how they impact your life, and you wanna transform, I'm telling you, taking on core beliefs is the way to do it. It's the way to do it. So, okay, so I'm waiting for somebody to step forward, but in the meantime, I'll tell you a quick story. I had someone come to me for some coaching about losing weight. She was severely obese. She was very young, and she had gotten a promotion at work and needed to do a lot of traveling and public speaking. And she said to me that she really wanted to lose the weight so she could feel better about herself while traveling and speaking in front of people. So when I asked her why she hadn't lost weight so far, she just, came up with a bunch of excuses. And then I suggested that she really didn't want to lose weight, and she looked at me like I had two heads. I hear you, Angelica. Well, then maybe what I'm talking about is for you. So we uncovered what her core beliefs were. One of the core beliefs was, I have not had success with losing weight so far, so that means I'm not going to. And it wasn't something that she wasn't ever going to. So it wasn't something that she was necessarily conscious of, but subconsciously she had this belief that because she had never succeeded at that before, then more than likely she was never going to achieve it. But as we dug down even deeper, we found out that she had actually been raped at a young age. And from that time on, she steadily put on weight. And her core belief was that her weight provided a sense of safety. It was safe. And in that way, she was not willing to let go of the weight. And once she realized that her core belief was that the weight was her way of being safe, guess what happened? she changed that, reframed that, and she actually lost the weight. So it's super, super important to create some awareness around that. So Angelica, for you, okay, Callie, I'm not sure of beliefs, but trying to de-stress. Stress is the biggest obstacle for me to be able to stop overstressing. Okay, so Callie, that's great. I mean, it's not great that you're stressing, but that's something great to address, because I think everybody can relate as well. So there is definitely a core belief underneath all of that, and usually it's fear. So you have to ask yourself, what's really going on for me here? What is it that I'm really afraid of? So again, Callie, I'm going to chat with you a little bit right now. So trying to de-stress, what has worked, what has not worked, what is stressing you out so much, and what's underneath that all? What are you really afraid of? Are you afraid of losing something? Are you afraid of not connecting? I wish I could video chat with you guys so there wasn't a delay. I'm actually looking into Zoom technology because it looks like I'll be able to do that with that technology. All right, Callie, I hope you heard my questions because this is so important. You know, as I read your comment again, to me it just sounds, a lot like anxiety. And the biggest reason people experience anxiety is because they're not in the now. They are trying to redo something from the past and stressing over that. Hi, Katie. Or they're stressing about something that hasn't even happened yet instead of acknowledging the right now. Okay, Callie, since I lost my son, I'm paranoid of losing someone close to me, even if it's just walking to the car for school. Got it. Okay. So the core belief is, what do you think, Callie? So Callie's saying, since I lost my son, I'm paranoid of losing someone close to me, even if it's just walking to the car for school. So the core belief is what, Callie? Thanks, Katie. What do you think your core belief is, Callie? And if you don't know, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. Can somebody else chime in? What do you think Callie's core belief here is? So I'll just reiterate. You've had 2 children since then. Okay. Fear. Sure. The core belief is, I think, why bother connecting to anyone? I'm going to lose them anyway. Am I off? Am I close? Is it hard for you to connect to anyone, to feel close to anyone? Do you keep people at arm's distance, Callie? Control, sure. When you're afraid, Kate, absolutely. You're going to try to control everything. But actually that has the opposite effect than what you're trying to create, ironically, because there's so much that we can't control. And Callie, first of all, I want to acknowledge, first of all, my sympathies. Yeah, it is very hard. I got that, Callie. So it's real hard for you to connect, and you probably keep people at arm's length. So I never let people close enough to me. Okay, got it. Sure, fear. Okay, so let me address this. So your core belief is, why should I bother? Because I'm going to feel pain anyway. Okay, got it. All right, Callie, tell me what else. So now I'm lonely in my thoughts. I want you to keep telling me, Callie. I want you to keep telling me what else this could be. What else this could be. So we have fear of loss, sure, which is why you keep people at arm's length. What else is going on? Probably don't feel safe. Probably feel alone. And fearful. It usually does come down to fear. And it, all of these things hold you back from connecting. All of these things keep you probably low self-esteem, right? From not being present. And think about that. The low self-esteem. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Yeah, control freak. Absolutely. Okay. So it's all the same thing. All of these things that you're describing, Callie, it's all the same thing. It comes down to fear, right? I'm balanced most of the day in my head. I got it. So, right, I got it. So when something awful happens to us, that doesn't feel good, especially if it's out of our control. Okay, and a lot of times we decide that when something like that happens, then from there on, we have to take control. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when it's causing you a tremendous amount of anxiety, you've gone way over the edge. So what happens is you try then to control things that are completely out of your control. And that causes more anxiety because consciously you know that, subconsciously you know that, and that is very, very upsetting, and that creates more fear, and that creates more of all of those negative things, Kelly, that you just mentioned. So we need to reframe things for you. We can't change the past. Unfortunately, your son is gone, and again, I'm really sorry about that. And I can't change that. But what you do, Callie, have control of is how you feel right now. You have control over that. You can't control things that have happened in the past. You can't control the future. And, as dark as this sounds, life is unsafe. Life hits us hard all the time. And I am in no way, shape, or form trying to make light of your son's passing at all. All I'm saying is, if we can come to a place of acceptance about how unsafe and how tough life can be, if we can do that, it almost takes a weight off our shoulders. Like, okay, I can stop trying to control the uncontrollable. If you can practice presence and enjoy the moment right now and understand that right now you have life, right now your children are well and they're with you. If you can look at what you have right now and practice more of that, I promise you're going to release a lot of these fears and loneliness that you're feeling. So I think some of you know that I was in a pretty bad car accident a little over a year ago. And one of the things that helped my anxiety, because I had terrible anxiety every time I went to leave the house or get into a car, I would have these images of myself or my children getting hurt. And in my head, I was telling myself this story about, well, I developed a core belief that getting into a car from now on was going to be unsafe, and we were going to get in an accident pretty much every time we got into a car. Not not entirely realistic, but I was buying it. And what brought me back to sanity was recognizing that, you know what, another accident could happen. But right now, we're all safe, we're all happy, and we're all healthy, and the accident is not happening right now. So bringing myself back to truth, back to reality is always, always, was always comforting. Does that make any sense, Callie? What do you think a new story you could tell yourself is, Callie? What do you think a new core belief might be? Hi, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. We're not doing readings tonight, sweetheart. We're talking about core beliefs tonight. And understand, Callie, you know, we call these negative beliefs or limiting beliefs, but in fact, they are calls to action. Okay, I'm glad you get it, sweetie. So understand that feeling the fear, feeling the low self-esteem, feeling the loneliness. Welcome, Barb. Feeling the low self-esteem, all of that are calls to action. They are signals. They are our hearts telling us, it's okay, Jackie. It's our hearts telling us that if we address these things that don't work for us, we can transform our lives. Kelly, I saw that you said I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what you're not sure about. So maybe you can help clarify that. By the way, everybody, we have Barb Rule on with us tonight. I'm so happy that she joined us. Barb is from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and she is an awesome medium and Reiki healer and energy worker, and I love her to pieces. So if you are in the neighborhood or looking for another medium or energy worker, she's your gal. And I'm pretty picky about who I refer. All right, Callie. I have started small with little things to be positive with the present. Okay. Okay. What are some of those ways, Callie? What are some of those ways? Thanks, Barb. So you've started with small, you've started small with little things to be positive with the present. Okay, it's not necessarily being positive. It's just being present. Okay, well, you know, you've conditioned your mind a certain way. I mean, think about this. We burn neural paths in our brain when we repeat behaviors, when we repeat thoughts. You got to think of your mind and your brain like a computer. You are programming it all the time with your thoughts and your routines, your rituals. So, you know, just having positive thoughts or every so often practicing mindfulness is not going to get you the kind of results that you want. You have to condition it all the time into where it is that you want to go. So, for example, if you want to start feeling better about yourself. Okay, let me go backwards a little bit. So it's really, really hard to change a behavior when you're in a certain state. So Callie, I would ask you right now, as you're talking about this, what is the physiology of your body? What is your physiology? Is, you know, are your shoulders slumped, or your head down? You kind of withdrawn? Hi, Donna. Thank you. Because from that, I want everybody to try something with me. So get yourself into, I know you all know how to be depressed, and I know you all know how to be anxious and stressed. So what I want you guys to do is put yourself into that state of feeling like crap. Put yourself into that state. And as you do, I want you to notice your body. I bet your voice is real low if you were to try to speak. I bet your shoulders are kind of slumped. I bet you're going within and your mind is racing. I bet you're having no trouble thinking, yeah, okay, got it. So I got that, Callie. In this state, you cannot change your thoughts to something more positive. You just can't. You just can't. So what I want you guys to do now is what I call the Wonder Woman or the Superman pose. I want you to lift your head. I want you to smile. I want you to just change your posture. Okay, chest out, be proud. and smile. Just change it. I just want you to, raise your shoulders, stand in the Superman or the Wonder Woman pose. Hi, Amy. And I want you to already start to notice the difference in your body. So when you change your physiology, you change your state. When you change your state to a more positive state, to a happier state, guess what? Your brain is going to come up with solutions. And you are going to feel more like you want to feel. You're going to break the pattern of the anxiety, of the fear, of the depression. Does that make sense, guys? Do you feel the difference? When you change your physiology, when you change your body posture, you change your thoughts. It's impossible to have a negative thought when you're in a higher state. There's a lot of ways to change your state, by the way. So you can listen to music, you can listen to something motivational, you can moving your body craves movement. Moving your body will have you feel better as well. So if you want to feel better, change your state. Bring some movement into your life, into your being. Does that make sense, guys? Do you feel the difference? So there was a study done about what happens when you change your physiology. Okay, so it's my understanding that, now I've not personally done the research. You're welcome, Callie. But it is my understanding that when you change your physiology, you will move out the stress hormones and you'll bring in the happy hormones and the testosterone. It takes 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes for the stress hormones to move out and the good stuff to move in. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. Who else has some core beliefs that you might be aware of that have blocked you somehow? Like, think about a goal that it's just been out of reach, or that maybe you've reached a goal but have relapsed somehow. I'd love to coach somebody on that, on how your core beliefs work for you or don't work for you. Anybody else? Thank you so much, Callie, for being brave enough to share that with us. And I hope you got something useful out of our conversation. It's not easy to coach in this format. Like I said, it would be great if I could video chat with you. Okay. Wait, there's a really long delay tonight with the comments. Okay, I know there's somebody else out there who wants to talk about a core belief. Okay, Kristen. Let's see. Can you talk about changing feelings about money? Sure, Barb. Money. And then Kristen asked, I recently started sitting on an exercise ball in my living room instead of lounging on my sofa. It makes me feel physically better and also helps me feel more energetic. Oh, that's awesome, Kristen. That's fantastic. Okay, and then Barb wants to know, okay, Ashley's talking about doubt and decisions. Okay, so basically, feelings about money. Barb, I'll start with you. I want you to ask me what the real question is there. Can you talk about changing feelings about money? There's got to be a core belief there about money. So I'm assuming that you mean lack of. And if that's correct, hi Mike. I saw your message come in, but I can't answer you right now, but I will. I don't know what you wrote, but I promise I'll answer you in a little bit. Hi Ashley. Okay, so again, back to Barb. So I get asked this, lack of, yes Barb, lack of money. There is a core belief there. So what I would ask you to do, Barb, is to go back to your childhood, because you got some messages. You got some messages about money, whether it's money doesn't grow on trees, or it's, we just can't afford that. Just think about, Barb, what were the messages that you got about money? That it has to be difficult to earn. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what some of those messages were, and anybody can join in here about this particular subject. So Money. What are your negative core beliefs about money? What messages did you get? What messages did you get that turned into a core belief? It could be, I'll never have it. It could be that when I get it, I spend it right away. It could be, I'm not responsible with money. It could be that I'll never make money off of something that I love. I have to work really hard for it. Never enough. Never enough. Okay, now let me ask you this, Barb. What else is never enough? It's hard to keep. Yeah, hard to keep. Hard to keep and never enough. Keep going, Barb. What's at the root of that? It's at the root of everything. That's my hint. Never enough, hard to keep. Money equals stress. Yes, that's a core belief. Not the truth, but it's a core belief. Because then we have to pay tax and then extra taxes, or we're going to have people that ask us for money all the time, or we're afraid that we might lose it. Somebody might steal it. You know, it comes down to how we feel about ourselves. Do we feel deserving of it? So, Barb, fear of success. Yes, you got it. Okay, and what does success mean? Fear of success means what? Fear of success can mean I've got to keep proving myself over and over again. And what if I fail? Am I close, Barb? Am I close? That damn ego, man, gets in the way every time. So fear of success. Oh my gosh, boy, did that hit a nerve, and boy, do I get it. Absolutely. Yeah. So here's an interesting exercise. Imagine yourself with money. Just imagine yourself with money and all the things that you would do if you have it. Yeah, leaving our people we are currently with behind. Ooh, is that another good one? And I'll get back to that in 1 second. That's awesome. So if you cannot imagine yourself with money, if you're already asking, well, how did I get it? You know, and you know that resistance comes up right off the bat, then you don't believe that you deserve it. And right there is a hint at what one of your core beliefs is. I'll never have it, and I'll never keep it, and I don't deserve it. And there's no way money could come to me easily anyway. Those are limiting beliefs, and they're not true. They're stories. They're absolute stories. Now, Barb said something really powerful. Leaving our people who we are currently with behind. Oh my gosh, that is also a core belief that I hear often around money and success. So when I, a few years ago, had decided to enter a fitness competition, my trainer said something very interesting to me, which, you know, the more years that go by, the more I understand it. He said, you're going to notice something. Now, he understood that I was very committed to this goal. There was nothing that was going to stand in my way. And he said to me, you know, in the beginning, you're going to be surprised by the people around you who are going to try to sabotage your goal. They're going to tell you you can't. They're going to tell you you shouldn't. And as they start to see you become successful, as they start to see that you're very serious about your goal, as they start to see your transformation, people are either going to come on board and join you, or they're going to sabotage you, or they're going to tell you you can't do it, or why do you get to do it? Basically is what they're saying. How come you and not me? It's very confrontational to someone when they see somebody close to them succeeding. Very confrontational. And a lot of people will try to drag you down with them. And that can cause a lot of guilt, because, I mean, a lot of those people you really love. And you feel bad about having something that they don't, but their life is their responsibility. So, you know, whatever core beliefs that you have around success come down to fear of losing love. Really, that's what it's all about. We always fear losing love, losing our loved ones, losing people's love and respect, losing that connection. I mean, that's a basic human need, so yes. But look at the other side of that. The other side of that is you will lift and inspire people who are ready to jump on that train. And I would much rather move in that direction. So if someone is left behind, it's their choice. And you had nothing to do with it, and you have no reason to feel guilty at all. I want you, I don't know if y'all caught the beginning of this conversation, but I said that the richest place on earth is a cemetery. In the cemetery, that is where our hopes and dreams and goals and ambitions and inventions and ideas and gifts and books and talents and skills, anything we've ever want to accomplish and found an excuse not to, gets buried with us. Do you want to be that person? I don't think you do, or you wouldn't be on here tonight. I don't think you do. So when you are on your deathbed, what do you think you'll regret more? You know, bad choices, poor choices, or the things you always wanted to do and never got a chance to do because you gave into a core belief, a negative core belief. Think about that. What kind of legacy do you want to leave for your children, for your family, for your loved ones? Does that make sense, Barb? And never enough. if you look at your entire life, never enough is probably an operating system overall, not just around money. Yeah. and the fact that it's hard to keep also. Not so much. I promise y'all it's a story. Mike asks, in terms of tonight's topic, do you have any guidance on how to best stay out of your own way and let the positive aspects of our core beliefs take over versus letting my own ego and self get in the way and turn things negative, or at least challenge things to death instead of just following the positive and letting them take place? Basically taking my own will out of the equation and letting things and feelings happen as they are meant to and enjoying the ride instead of trying to drive the bus. Okay, so welcome, Eric. I'm so glad, Barb, that resonates with you. Okay, so Mike, this is awesome. I'm actually going to put you up on a bigger screen here so I can, well, I guess I can't see it on here because that is awesome and I really want to address that. But I keep losing your message, so I'm going to try to get it up here. Here it is. Okay, so I want to read Mike's comment again. Guidance on how to best stay out of your own way and let the positive aspects of our core beliefs take over versus letting ego and self get in the way and turn things negative. Challenge things to death instead of just following the positive and letting them take place. Basically, taking my own will out of the equation and letting things and feelings happen. Okay, well, I got an easy answer for you, Mike. You just do it. I know that sounds very simplistic, but it's the truth. Because if you're not doing that, that core belief of I can't get out of my own way is really, really strong. It's really strong. And it's just constant, daily, sometimes moment by moment conditioning out of, I need to get out of my own way. I really can do this. Life is not as hard as I believe that it is. I'm just making it hard. So I would say, well, Mike, what is one of your goals, for example? Let's stop being general. Tell me what one of your goals is. What's one of your goals, Mike? Something that you're trying to achieve or maintain. While you're answering me, Mike, something that's coming up for me is if there's a core belief of I'm not good enough, I'm a bad person, so bad things are supposed to happen to me. I'm just such a screw up. I'm whatever. You finish that thought. If those core beliefs there, you're going to support it in your actions. You're going to get in your own way. You just can't help it. And again, if you're in that state, you're going to continue to make bad choices for your life. Mike, I hope that makes sense. So we talked about changing state earlier. And what that means is just uplifting yourself, changing your posture, or just moving your body, or listening to something inspirational, listening to some music, watching something funny, paying it forward, doing something kind for somebody else. Anything that changes your state, from that place, you'll come up with solutions and a better way of being. I promise you. So what is a goal that you're trying to achieve, Mike? I'm still waiting for an answer. Give me one goal. And I'm reading Amy's message. As I'm getting older, I'm afraid of insanity. Okay. Everything comes down to fear, doesn't it? I don't know if you're still on my... Oh, there we go. I tend to think that I am my own worst critic, and I don't know anyone could be harder on myself than me. I want to get away from that type of negativity. Okay. Well, you're your own worst critic because you have a negative belief about yourself. And that's what I want to find out. What is that, Mike? What is that negative belief about yourself? Who do you believe you are? What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you're a failure? Because if you believe you're a failure, you're going to think and act like one. If you believe you're unlovable, you're going to think and act that way. If you feel insignificant, you might make some poor choices that give you momentary significance and further support your negative beliefs about yourself, if that makes sense. So again, you're your own worst critic. So in that state, you cannot possibly make good decisions for yourself. You cannot possibly feel better about yourself. So if you want to change that type of negativity, you've got to learn how to change your state. You've not only got to learn how to change your state, but you've got to, I think, maybe fear of failure. Sure. And if you go down even deeper, fear of failure means what? What do you think that means for you? If you fail at something, what does that mean for you? What meaning have you added to failure? Who won't love you? Who'll leave you? Sure. Got it. I got it, Mike. Okay. So, I really don't believe in failure, Mike. I don't. I always go back to boxing because boxing for me is so metaphorical. Boxing is about getting out of your head and trusting your instincts. When you're out of your head, your movements flow. Your movements just flow. Your body knows what to do. And for me, sparring, boxing is not about the win. It's about showing up. And it doesn't even matter if I spar and I'm pummeled. it's that I showed up. You know, and I have a choice every time I get in that ring. I can either make the pummeling mean that I'm a failure, or I can look at it and learn from the pummeling, literally. You know, what do I need to improve? You know, how did I contribute to the pummeling? There's there's a way to turn it around. You know, there's a way to look at it and say something like, I didn't fail. I didn't fail because I showed up. I only failed if I call myself a failure. I only failed if I can't learn the lessons of this pummeling, if that makes sense. So it's the same for you, Mike. You can approach life just totally being afraid of not getting it right, of looking like a fool. You can really be afraid of that And if you are, you might as well not even try, because life is not safe. We don't get things right, the first time. A lot of times it takes practice. So, two things I'll ask you to consider. When you first learned how to walk and you fell, after the 50th time that you fell, did you say, screw this, I'm not doing this again? Walking isn't for me, I give up? I don't think so, because you didn't as a kid you couldn't even have a thought like that, because you knew that if you kept trying, that you'd be able to walk. And what happened? You learned how to walk. So you have within you the ability to succeed, but you're not always going to get it the first time. And you know what? If somebody sees you as a failure, if somebody wants to laugh at your attempts, it's their stuff, not yours, honey. It's just not. I'm going to say it again. On your deathbed, you will regret all the things that you never tried to do. All the reasons that you gave into fear, you're going to regret when you're on your deathbed. So let me just read what you wrote here, Mike. I think a peer and parental. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like this induces a ton of unnecessary pressure, especially because my parents have always been tremendously supportive through triumph and tribulations. Okay. All right, so you're afraid of disappointing them, I guess is what I'm gathering from that, right? You're afraid of disappointing them? Okay. You know what? You're human. You are human. So what drives our core beliefs are some basic human needs. We need to feel certainty. We need variety in our life. We need to grow. We need love and connection. What else do we need? We need to feel like we're contributing, and we need to feel important and significant, right? So from understanding those needs, we will either seek them out in a positive or a negative way. And, what you mentioned, Mike, is just your fear of losing that love and connection. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Your fear of losing that love and connection, your fear of losing respect. Sure. But, the real question I have for you, Mike, is, what do you do to fill your needs up in a positive way? How do you contribute to life? What do you do that makes you feel important and significant? What do you do to provide love and connection? What do you do to provide certainty in your life? What do you do to provide variety in your life? How do you fill those needs for yourself? Because right now what you're describing to me is getting those needs fulfilled externally, and that's when you're asking for trouble. I can understand that. I can understand you needed acknowledgement and feeling important from others. But do you give that to yourself? Because I promise you, if you're not fulfilling those needs within yourself, it's never going to be enough when you're seeking it from somebody else. It's just never going to be enough. Does that make sense? And while you're answering that question, Mike, Amy says, what happens when my partner is way better at meeting life goals, challenges than I am? He has so much more self-discipline. Okay. Amy, what are you making his self-discipline and his ability to meet goals and challenges mean for you is the real question. What do you make it mean, Amy, that you're... Oh, good, Mike. I'm glad you got it. What happens when my partner is way better at meeting life goals, challenges than I am? He has so much more self-discipline. It's an interesting question. But again, my question for you is, what do you make that mean about yourself? What meaning do you add to that? Do you make it mean that you're not good enough for him? Is that why you're asking the question? We're going to be signing off here in a couple of minutes, so let me see. He's doing it, accomplishing it. I'm not. Okay, I got that. But what do you make it mean for you? What does that mean? So he's accomplishing a goal and you're not. What are you making that mean for yourself? That you're failing. Okay, are you failing? Be honest, are you failing? And if so, what are you failing at? Or do you have a core belief that you're a failure? Do you have a core belief that he's more self-disciplined and you're not? Because it comes down to the meaning that you're adding to it. And if you're adding negative meaning to it, you're putting yourself in a low state. And from that low state, you're just going to fulfill your negative beliefs. So what do you make his accomplishments mean for you? Do you make them mean that you're a failure? Do you make them mean that you lack self-discipline? Do you make them mean that you'll never achieve a goal? I'm guessing yes. And Amy, what I want you to do is try what we tried a little earlier on in the video. I want you to just take a look at the way your body is positioned right now. Is your head down? Okay. Well, you can, okay, so Amy wrote, he sets his mind to something and he gets it done. Okay, so you can look at that and make it mean something negative for yourself, or you can look at the way to learn to be successful is to watch how successful people get things done. Okay, so you can ask him, you know, get in his head a little bit. You can ask him, what are his rituals? What is his thinking? How is it that he accomplishes something? A lot of times, honestly, for men, you know, they don't think as much as women do. We add a lot of meaning to stuff, and we tend to overthink things. Men just tend to sometimes just get it done when they've set their mind to something. As an example, my dad quit smoking cold turkey. My dad knew that for health reasons there were certain things that he had to eliminate from his diet, and he just does it. He just does it. And I asked him the other day, how do you do that? And he's like, it's not good for me. I just do. It's no big deal for him. He just does it. My son, when my son set out to lose weight, he didn't complain when we cut out sugar and cut out some carbs and white flour. When we cut out certain things from his diet, I never heard him complain or gripe about feeling deprived, you know, or having things denied from him. And I asked him, you know, how he could do that. He made it look so easy. And he said, well, I want to lose weight and I want to be healthy, and those things are not good choices for me. You know, I get that, so I'm not going to eat those things. I just don't want them, and I don't miss them. It's the mindset. It's always the mindset. The mindset will run the program. You know, it drives that bus. You know, but if you get into the wrong mindset, of course, you know, you're not going to achieve your goals. So again, Amy, ask him how is it that he achieves his goals? Again, what are his rituals? What's his mindset? What does he practice? What is it that he believes about himself? What are his core beliefs that help him achieve that goal? So you can look at it that way, or you can look at it as, I'm a failure. I'm a failure. And he's not. He's a winner. You understand? But Amy, I just want to go back and say, you know, when you get into that state of I'm a failure, what position is your body in? Where is your head? You know, does your voice go down? Are you in a fearful state? Are you standing and sitting in fear? Because if you are, you simply can't create solutions or have a positive attitude from that state. You've got to change your state. I can't stress this enough. If you want a different outcome, you've got to try something different. So if you are doing the Eeyore thing and have this dark cloud over your head all the time, do you really think you can come up with solutions and be positive in that state? No, you're going to be pointing out everything that's bad about the moment. You know, how bad the world is, and how this person betrayed you, and you know, you're just going to be coming up with all kinds of reasons of why your life is not working. But if you change your state, again, I know I sound like a broken record tonight, but I'm telling you, this is what works. You change your state. You listen to something that's uplifting. Every morning I start myself off with a meditation that sets the intention for the day. I listen to at least one motivational speech or video per day. I watch something funny every day. I move my body every day. You know, if I want to create something, I change my state. And from that place, you will come up with answers. If you do that over and over again, you're going to burn new neural paths in your brain, and you're going to have better behavior accordingly. Make sense, guys? We got to wrap this up soon. So he says he just does it with determination, no excuses. Big shoes to follow. Big shoes to follow. Another, you know, negative core belief. That started somewhere. You bought that story somewhere, Amy. Big shoes to fill, big shoes to follow. It's a lie you've been telling yourself for a while. Okay, you can do anything. You can absolutely do anything you can set your mind to, sweetheart. I promise you. You're the only one who decides that you can't. You got it? All right, guys. Thank you very, very much for joining us. This is just kind of a crash course on core beliefs. Again, it's one of my most favorite topics. Understand that you are the only one holding yourself back. There is no reason you can't accomplish your goals. None. I promise. So I hope y'all have a great night. I hope that you got something out of this, and I would love to hear your comments. And Kate says, I'm frozen. Oh no. You're welcome, Tracy. So hopefully I'm not frozen for all of you. But I welcome your comments. I welcome your suggestions. We can talk about a topic of your choice next time, and I'm thinking pretty soon we'll do some readings. Okay, so have a great night. Namaste. Love all you guys. Bye-bye. I could just figure out now how to turn this off.